Yo, it's 2023. It's What's Out Media. Right now, we got our guy Hesh, and we're going to talk to Hesh about what he's got planned for this year and what he's got planned for the future. Heshy, how have you been since last time we talked to you, man?
Well, my dear Big X, Xavier and Corey, nice to be back with you. I missed you guys. You promised you were coming into Brooklyn for my chicken cutlets. I wasn't going to save them for you. You know that I'm a fat guy. So you weren't here. I ate them real quick, baby. You know what I mean? Um, I have decided, as you know, I was running for office, and the election is now. We just had the election, and we had the primary on June 27. I raised from the city council. I raised the most money, the fastest. There was a bunch of rules. Last time I didn't ask for any matching funds, and while the all my competitors got government funds. Remember, we went from a $90 billion budget with our migrants now to 110 billion. Where's that money coming from? People are taking money. People are billing the city. You're looking. We have 51 people running for city council, and each one getting. But each one has 3 or 4 members running, each one getting 180,000 from the government. I never wanted it. I don't want even a salary. But again, they beat you if they have the money. They take you to court. They sue you, X. They sue you like you never seen before to knock you off the ballot. So I learned to get money. I learned to matching funds. I raised the most money with the most amount of people in 12 days, and the government gave me matching funds. Again, they sued me for $80,000 to knock me off the ballot, falsifying documents. I mean, they just went crazy. I beat them in court, but again, it cost money to hire lawyers, but I was prepared. And when we went to the polls on June 27th, even the Republican Party somehow didn't support me, even though I'm a Republican. And they went and they supported my Democratic guy because they gave him money, or he's in the the incumbent. I beat him by 1 vote. I beat him. Wait. Anyways, the law is in New York City, if it's a 20 vote or less difference, they recount or they start doing other stuff. Somehow, the next day, over the next 2 weeks, my competitor found 28 votes,
Oh,
mail in votes, which we don't know how he got them. Anyways, back to court. I said, forget it. I was prepared for this. My name is not Donald Trump. I'm not a rich man. I knew what they were going to go with. I know that it was a one-on-one race. So he can win the primary as long as I get to the general election. It would have been nice to be in the primary. But again, I get matching funds as long as I was in the primary and as long as I'm in the final ballot. So there's something called, in my community, everybody knows me, and the Republicans didn't come out. They never do. So there's something called the general election on November the 7th, where we're one-on-one. It's the community now. It's up to the community to decide to vote. It's no more little games, no more ballot boxes. Here it is. You're coming out. Hey, if they cheat, they cheat. So on November the 7th, I'm on the final general election as a Borough Park Flatbush line. He's a Democrat. And we're going to see in my community, it doesn't work like the rest of your communities, Democrat, Republicans. Everybody in my community knows me. They call me for troubles from, recently. And we had a man, and I'm ashamed to tell you, he abused his wife. I take in people from jail. When they finish their term, they come live by me. I take in abused women. I have one now leaving me after 4.5 years. I can't tell you her name. Her name is Tay, but she's not a Jewish woman with 2 children. She's leaving me. We love her. We take in people. And this one young girl was really badly abused, Corey. I'm talking bad, Corey. Bad that you would cry. Anyways, she left him. She went home to live by her mother, who's a good woman who babysits for the whole community. 15, 20 kids a day. She's great. She makes money. So she went there, and then she told everybody her husband was going to kill her. It's a Jewish girl. And I don't know what happened. She decided to go back to her husband. And 2 weeks later, she was dead. Now, he says drugs, which we know she never did. Story is, while we were sitting in mourning for her daughter, because we do something called a mourning or shiva for 7 days, the father snuck into the house, this drug addict abuser, kidnapped the grandchild, stole him, and somehow went to court and then gave him up for adoption, and the kid disappeared. I'm trying to help them get the baby back. We're going to court. And these are the things that I do. Besides my regular job of fighting the Department of Buildings, Department of Health, they give violations to everybody. They stop people's houses. They stop them moving in. They stop landlords. I help the city. Matter of fact, I work for the city as a receiver to make sure landlords keep their buildings nice and clean and well preserved. And then I fight the city when they try to abuse the landlords and try to cut their rents. You see, a lot of you people, and I'm talking to you, Corey, and to you, Xavier, you consider yourself what? A liberal, a conservative, a leftist, a rightist. I'm a peopleist. That's it. I am one of the greatest lines I've ever seen in a movie, and I'm ashamed to tell you, but I love Al Pacino. I am a fan of man. That's it. I'll pick either side. I'm against abortion. I'm not homosexual. I don't believe in homosexuality because I want my children to procreate. But I'm not against them. I'm not against anybody. You know, in my office, my boss, matter of fact, is a black lady. She is my boss. I hired her and she's my boss. My head architect is a Muslim woman. My head drafter is a Latino lady. Forget I have a Chinese guy. My deal is that, and I showed this to Corey before, and I want you to see this. In my pocket, I walk around with the Constitution. I quote the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the First Amendment. I go to jails every 2 weeks to visit the people. You will not take away my rights. My father was a concentration camp survivor. I grew up on the streets when he died since I'm 13. My cousin fought in the American Army. He jumped out of airplanes. Our grandfathers, we come from a history of civil war, of revolution, of civil rights, people hating and fighting. I'm tired. And my job, and I'm going to tell you a story, if you don't mind, Xavier. 5 minutes and I'm done. 4 minutes and I'll shut up after that. I'll go get some chicken cutlets. My father died when I was 13 years old and 1 month. He was a good man. If he would have lived 5 more years, I would have been very wealthy. He was doing great. My mother was doing great. And he died. And he sat me down about a month before he died. And he says, Heshy, I'm going to die. I said, no, Pop, you're not going to die. I'm a kid. I was having a great time. Everything was going well. I didn't understand death. He says, no, Heshy, I'm not going to make it. I just want to make it to your bar mitzvah. And he said, I want you to know what responsibility is. And I want you to be responsible for the family. And I felt it wasn't fair. I was the oldest. I had two brothers, a Down syndrome sister. It's not fair. He sat me down and he tells me this story. He says, Heshy, in the time of World War II, you know about the concentration camps, right? What they did to the Jews, they killed 6 million Jews, but also they shoved us into ghettos. A ghetto is a walled little town where they shoved 20 people in a bedroom. They tortured us. But again, till they took you to the concentration, killed you, they put you in the ghetto. And they mass moved you slowly on cattle cars. Now, there were two people in this ghetto, two good friends. One was named Mr. Friedman, and one was named Mr. Epstein. Buddies. They grew up together. Mr. Friedman had a beautiful wife, daughter, and son. Mr. Epstein had nothing. Now, the problem is a couple of Nazis couldn't control hundreds of thousands of Jews. So what they did is they picked some of the Jews, and we called them capos, and they made them Jewish policemen to watch the Jews. They were worse than the Nazis. They beat the Jews worse. They hurt us even more. And one day, Mr. Friedman was walking in the street with his family, and Mr. Epstein bumped into him with two Nazis. And they started pushing Mr. Friedman around. And one of the Nazis took out his gun on the street and shot Mr. Friedman's wife. The next animal pig took out his gun and shot Mr. Friedman's daughter. Right before they were ready to kill the little boy, Mr. Epstein, the Jew, took out his stick and started to beat Mr. Friedman. Beat him and beat him and beat him till the blood ran on the street, dead. Right before they were ready to kill the little boy, Mr. Epstein told the Germans, the Jews are going to riot. They're freaking out as it is. Let me take the little kid into the woods and I'll kill him. And he grabbed the little kid and he ran into the woods. And my father tells me that's the end of the story. Now, my father tells me he witnessed part 2 of the story. Part 2 of the story is Mr. Friedman somehow survived the war. They picked him up. They made him better. He went to the camp. He survived. He made it to America. And he came to my neighborhood, Borough Park. And back then, we didn't have a synagogue, church, or mosque on every little corner or every store. There was, in the 1940s and 50s, they were building. And we had maybe 10 or 12 synagogues now where we have 330,000 people living in a 10 square block area. And we have, I don't know, every block has a synagogue, school, church, every block. Mr. Friedman started to work in the synagogue. And on every Sabbath, we have a rule that you have to, any guests that come to your synagogue, you have to call them up to the Torah to make a prayer. You don't have to, but usually we do that. And Mr. Friedman was standing by the Torah as one of the assistants. As they called the name of one of the guests, Mr. Friedman turned white. There was like 250 men in the synagogue, 250 women in the synagogue. Mr. Friedman turned completely white. And the man starts walking down the aisle. And what happened was Mr. Friedman almost passed out. As the man came up to make the blessing, Mr. Friedman screamed, "Murderer! Murderer!" The synagogue became quiet. "You're a murderer!" Everybody couldn't believe Mr. Friedman, such a nice man, freaking out. He says, "You killed my family!" And all of a sudden, Mr. Epstein, who it was, grabbed Mr. Friedman in front of everybody as it was complete silence and said, "I can't believe you made it, my friend." And Mr. Friedman, with tears in his eyes, and the women crying from the rafters, crying, "You killed me! You killed my wife and children! You killed me! Why did you do it?" And Mr. Epstein said, "You don't understand." And the synagogue was silent, and my father was a witness. He was sitting there. Mr. Epstein said, "Listen, the rabbi of the town told me to become a capo. He says the Germans were going to come get us. When we bumped into you, they killed your wife and daughter. Your child was next. You were dead anyways. I beat you. Maybe you live, maybe not. I grabbed your son. I ran into the woods. And I kept running and running and running." And he points to the back of the synagogue. He says, "That's your son." His son comes running down the aisle, and Mr. Friedman comes running down the aisle, everybody crying, and they started hugging, and the whole synagogue, in the middle of prayer, started to dance, sing the famous Jewish song, Siman Tov and Mazel Tov. This is where my father ends the story. My father says he looked up. He swears he saw the angels dancing with us. My father swears. My father never lied. He was a Holocaust survivor. Now, I said, "Pop, it can't be. You saw the angels. You're just making that up." He says, "Heshy, I swear I saw the angels dancing." He says, "Heshy, I want you to do something great. I want the angels to dance with you. I want you to know, Xavier and Corey, I've worked to raise my two brothers and sisters. I fought in school to help the kids that were poor. We brought home 21 foster kids. I'm sorry, not foster kids, special kids. Doesn't make a difference if you're black, white, Muslim, Jewish. In my house, you're welcome. We had hundreds of kids coming through here. People from jail. I visit the jails. I feed 151 families. I raise money. I have a regular job. I have a radio show. We don't take a break because God doesn't give me time off. You know, Abraham, the head of the Jews and Muslims and all that. Remember, he was tested. Supposedly in the Bible, he almost killed his son. Remember that? My father told me when he came out of that concentration camp, he lifted his hand up in the air. He says, "God, you tested me. I made it." 6 million Jews got killed and he survived. He says, "I made it. I will not give up my faith." So when they close my city during COVID, or they come after the churches or the synagogues or the mosques, or they want to arrest you, and they arrested me, you know that, Corey? They arrested me in front of my house, not once, 5 times, and I hear they want to come again. I'm not scared. I'm not Donald Trump. They can come get me. I'm pretty straight. I do my fighting. I will fight back. I will defend my citizens. So leftist, rightist, conservative. Again, I'm a fan of man, so I'm going to fight for this election on November the 7th. I hope the people want me, and if not, I'll keep running. I've been doing this for 40 years. Just because you guys just found out about me, I've been doing this for 40 years, me and Linda, and I love this city. I love this country. I am red, white, and blue blood. It doesn't make a difference who you are. In my house, my door is open, and I'm going to fight. And I go to funerals. I'm ashamed to tell you something. So people who kill themselves, young kids, we have mental health problems. I try to fight it. Drugs, our stupid mayor. I hate him so much. He used to be my friend. He legalized marijuana. Now, I'm not against it. But, you know, when you're selling it, you're giving it to little kids. He doesn't understand that. Has to be controlled in a better way. I don't mind taking care of the migrants, but he has a sloppy system here. He's blown billions of dollars. And if you would have seen one of my videos, Xavier, of a couple of days ago, on Fifth Avenue and 42nd Street, the hottest spot in New York, they have these people, about 200 or 300 of them, caged off like animals, sleeping on the street with dogs, and people spit and do other things there, sleeping on the street in the rain. You tell me that's normal? You tell me that's normal? But I go home to my beautiful wife in bed at night. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. And it hurts me every morning I wake up. I love my beautiful wife. I fight for my city. And this is my plan for this city. I'm going to fight till my last breath. I want to retire, but I can't. I can't, because I have a responsibility till I turn this country over to you little young idiots, to make sure you understand that this is what you're going to live by. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're even from Cleveland, Ohio. That's a joke. I like Cleveland. Boston's my town, even though I hate Boston, Merrick. You know that. The Red Sox are my enemy. I can't believe you won the World Series that year. It's cheating. You cheated. Either way, I'm a Yankee fan till the day I die. And I love you guys. I don't care who you are. And when you do come into New York, you support me. And this is our country, our future. Forget about your green and your blue and your green thing. This great country is going to last forever. We made it 256 years. Wow. And we had a civil war, okay, but we didn't have another revolution. We fought for our people, and look, always a consensual turnover of power, even with Trump and Biden. No matter what, whether he denied the election or not, and you know there was fraudulent, and you know there was cheating. I don't care. The point is, you can believe whatever you want. I can believe whatever I want, and you know why? I'll tell you why again. Let me repeat it one more time. Right here, right here. You can't come into my house without the Fourth Amendment. You gotta have a warrant. But we cheat. And we have judges and lawyers and stupid grand juries that are run by prosecutors, which are not fair. And, you know, that they could indict a ham sandwich. That's what I heard on TV once. I don't believe in it. You know, our prisons are full, and you can all tell me minority, not minority. We have Jews too. We're not doing the right thing. We're not watching our people. There's so many good people out there who are doing programs, who are rehabilitating people, and we just sometimes worry about me. The me. I got you. You keep forgetting it's we, not me. It's we. But I'm going to keep preaching. My foster kids love me, and we're going to keep fighting. And I'm hoping if I get elected, you'll see me from the pulpit screaming at the mayor, screaming in New York City. When I cut those locks and I opened those parks, people couldn't believe it. You can't do that, Heshy. I said, why? You can't cut my people out of the parks. You know, you can't not have a person who doesn't have it wants a wedding. You can't stop it. Everybody could do what they want. And I fought. And then after 3 months, the city opened up, the country opened up. We led the way for the fight. And you know, I have a rabbi, I have a pastor called Kevin McCall, and I went to his wedding. He's just a great man. He supported me all the way. He fought the city. He marched, and we marched together as brothers, as children, as fathers, as uncles. And by the way, Corey, you got to call me Big H.
Of course, Big H, man.
But you know what? My father was he fought the Germans on a horse. I've been desperate. I never ratted on my community, even though the FBI and the ICE came to me to cooperate with them and the government. I said never. My people, you know, right now, I know you don't believe this, Corey and Merrick, that they're listening to our calls. They do listen.
Oh,
I interviewed a lady that was abused, and I blacked out her face. And somehow, not only do they know who she was, or they're trying to find out who she was, they know the person they brought to me. And nobody could have known that because it was an anonymous source. And they're trying to get me on something, and I didn't even publish the video yet. How are they listening to my calls? I know they are. That's why I have to have a secret phone, and I have to have secret messages. You have to be careful, because if the government wants to listen out to you, you know, there's a movie. Did you ever see the movie Inglourious Bastards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a true story. It happened. The ending of the movie is stupid. That's not true, because Tarantino made it famous. My cousin My cousin Gethel Schwartz came to America at 18 years old in 1939. He joined the American Army. He went to war as a paratrooper. He couldn't speak English. And the American Army was prejudiced and bigoted at the time. And they put him in the paratroopers to jump out of planes and to die behind enemy lines. But this big monster of a man, he looked like Hulk Hogan, jumped out of plane after plane after plane behind enemy lines. And you know what? He killed the Nazis, cut their throats. He told me their stories. It's a true story. Him and his buddies. He came back with medals. At the end, he went a little crazy, and he killed a bunch of Germans on the street, and they threw him out of the army. He flew to Israel, joined the Israeli army, and became a hero there in 1948 for the independence of Israel. So we have heroes and family members that died, that survived, that suffered, that went through civil rights, that went through women's rights. You know, again, I don't believe in abortion. But again, the women have a right to do what they want. I don't believe in it. I don't agree that there's a transgender. There's only a man and a woman. But again, what somebody wants to do to himself, of course, they have to be over 18 and you have no right to teach it to children. Again, you have a right within reason. Don't kill yourself. As long as you could be mentally stable, you have a right to live any way you want, with who you want, when you want. You don't want to be gay? You don't want to have an abortion? That's fine. We have to be careful on how we run this country, and we have to be careful of our fellow rights. That is the bottom line. You know, the one line of the Constitution with all your amendments, with all your rules, one line, the pursuit of happiness. It's nothing. It's not a law, but it's written in the Constitution. Our forefathers knew pursuit of happiness means you should have the right to pursue your happiness in any way you want. There's no rules on how to do it. 56 men that day, a lot of them rich. Maybe they were upper class. Maybe they were better than us. You know, 11 of them, children died. Most of their families were killed. Some of their lands were taken away and made paupers. Why? Why'd they do that? Why? Are they stupid? They had it all. We have to sacrifice. And I believe in sacrifice. And trust me, I've given up a lot through the years. And many times I've thought to step back, to step away. I've gotten my depression times. You think jail is easy when they make you suffer or threaten you or threaten your family. Come to your house. And again, the police, when they need me, call me. They call me during demonstrations. They call me when there's a kid arrested. Hey, should go get a lawyer at 2 a.m. for the kid. They call me when the politicians call me and tell me to go do things because they can't do it. And who do you think they screw me? But you know what? I have my job. I have my God. I have my woman. I told you, Corey, before the show, and X, I'm married 33 years. The bet was I wouldn't make it 33 minutes. No, a week to 3 weeks. I'm married 33 years. 3 kids, foster kids, nephews, nieces. And my rabbi, who I know for a fact was one taking the bets, said, I'm proud of you, Heshy. You know, and that's what I tell you. I believe in serving this great nation. And I want to hand over this nation to you guys, that not for any reason that we work so hard for something, we're not going to let it go, especially to the right or to the left. Both sides are wrong. It's not for them to tell us what to do. Go live in your own world. You want to live on a farm. You want to be green. You don't, of course, don't hurt the fellow man, but they're too controlling. The government is only there to manage our money, not our vaccines, not our life, not our health insurance, not our wives, not our marriages. They're there to help us. And right now, too much government, man. I want to stop. You know that we now have a new law called congestive pricing. To drive through the city, not around the city or to another town, we're going to tax you. During COVID, they rate really to drive from 2 blocks across town, you're getting taxed. You're getting told. They raise your taxes when nobody's looking. They give you. They tell. I'm telling you, I hear secret meetings how they tell the sanitation workers and the police today. Every house in the block gets a ticket. Now, Corey, Xavier, Merrick, you guys have money, so you're not going to go fight a $50 ticket. For you, it's not worth it. Even if you get a penalty, $75, you don't care. But a lot of my people, they have to have 3 children, 4 children, the diapers, the shoes, the health insurance. I didn't even talk about food yet. The car, the gasoline. $75 counts. I have special needs kids that spend $100 every visit 3 times a month in my office. That's $3,000 a year. I don't know where you guys get that money. People struggle, and just let them go. Don't keep torturing us. We have enough. There are so many other ways. But again, You're taking over my beautiful hotels, and you're putting homeless and migrants in there that are destroying it. I'm never going to stay in a New York City hotel. When you come into town, Corey and Merrick, please don't stay in the hotel because you're going to bring home bed bugs. You're going to bring home diseases. There's no way. I can't see it any other way. What we should have done is build them like I did. We built 2 beautiful centers where we teach them. We don't put 14 people in a room like animals. 2 in a room. Programs. If they want to come back, they come back. They don't want to come back, they don't. We treat them with respect. Even people, homeless people, my son, when we have a table here, Shabbos, in my house, we set the table. Some of my kids tell me, "Oh, Pop, they're poor. They're not special guests." Everybody in my house gets treated the same way. That's the way it works. When you treat people with respect, you get it back. People make fun of me on the street. I don't really care. You know why? Because at nighttime, I come home to a beautiful bed with Egyptian cotton sheets. You know what they are?
Yeah.
I don't know. So me and Linda, when we got married, we had no money. So we slept on the floor on a mattress. Now, after 33 years, I finally bought her a king-size bed with Egyptian cotton sheets. They're things that I fall, I'm fat guy. So when I lay in the bed, I slide right off. So I got to hold on tight. They're very expensive. So I have to keep my mouth shut because she paid a hell of a lot of money for that crappy Egyptian cotton sheets. I was happy sleeping on the floor, but Linda got angry at me. So I got to let her sleep on a real bed.
So your main goal is for the general election. You said that's coming up in November.
Yeah. If your people see me out there, first of all, my website is called HeshyTischler.com. HeshyTischler.com. Well, I should have it somewhere here. I can use money, $10, $25, $30. This is, by the way, if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Whatever. HeshyTischler.com. My email, Justin of Heshy. Donations are still appreciated. $10, $20, whatever. And of course, can I pitch my show?
Yeah, of course.
Watch my show, the Just Enough Heshy Show. Let me see if I can see it. Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, radio. Who cares? Most people don't like to watch it because they say I make a lot of trouble. But I'm really a good guy. I just scream at everybody. I believe in you guys, and I want to win. And if I win, there's a channel called the City Council channel. Very boring. These politicians, they sit there, they pick their nose, they scratch their behind. After 4 hours of watching it, you actually want to cut your wrist. I really want to cut my wrist watching those idiots. But when I win election, turn on that channel. It's going to be the #1 show in town. I'm not going to let those people survive. I'm going to torture the hell out of them.
That's amazing, Hesh. That's amazing. We're hoping for the big dub for you on the What's Out Media side. I was gonna say that so Hesh over the COVID pandemic, Heshy's big thing was trying to get, the kids to still be able to socialize, to go use parks, to, hang out, to socialize and stuff like that. And that's what he was really like. That's what he was really like. They crucified him for it, essentially, for like trying to open up these parks for kids so that they are able to like still communicate. That helped them out so much, mental health wise. Like,
but Xavier, it's not only for the children. Remember, it was for the special needs kids that were locked in the house. And forget about them. The parents needed to get out. These are the things that we needed, and I kept our stores open and our prayers. Come on, everybody has to pray. Even the atheists sometimes, they get lost. Okay, not atheists. I believe that we just needed what they did to us. I still don't understand COVID. I have no idea of it. But again, there are still people walking around with masks. So I'm going to make a new video from now on. I'm going to be walking around the streets. Anybody wearing a mask, I'm going to go over to them and I'm going to say, "Are you stupid?" That's what I'm going to say. I know I'm going to lose the election for doing that, but it's bothering me.
You have some strong opinions on my generation, Gen Z. I really want to hear about it. So what are some of like the issues that we face that we have to take care of? I want to hear what you have to say about Gen Z.
I'm gonna say one word to you, something that I've been learning and trying to figure out: woke. I have no idea what the hell that is. You guys are all thinking woke. You think you're really waking us up? You think my generation did not have parties or sex or drugs? You think we didn't live through the 50s or the 20s? We had marijuana and drugs in the 20s and 30s. Marijuana has been federally criminalized in the 1920s and 30s with a law that said never ever is marijuana allowed to be legal federally. Never. What the states are doing is wrong. Now, the woke generation thinks they're smarter than us. We had our drugs. We the ones created rock and roll, not you. My
Mhm.
80s guys created rap, not you guys. You took it over. You think you're rappers. My rappers were the real cool ones, okay? We did the love songs. We fought for women's rights to vote. We fought for equal rights for women and for civil rights. We marched. Not me. My father marched with Martin Luther King. We fought and battled during so many, and you think this is the only pandemic we had. You're talking we had so many other issues through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. We brought you here. When you want to tell us woke that you're smarter than us, so you new generation look back, pay attention. You're right. You're smarter. You have the internet. We gave you that. You have the computers that are great. You have the science. You have so much in your hand. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. Use it to do more. You know, I was listening to Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. Too many people on the planet. We need to reduce the population. Are you crazy? You can shove everybody on the entire planet into really a big state if you wanted. We have enough food if you want to feed 115 billion, not 8 billion people. Somebody's playing with us. So you young generation, open your heads, open the light, turn on the light bulb. You know it's not true. Don't let them trick you. You're trying to be tricked. We're teaching the next generation a whole new theory. Remember when this idiot doctor, what's his name again? The COVID doctor. You know, we're going to do the big reset. What reset? Who asking you to reset? We're not resetting this country. There's no reset. We're going to go back to the same way we were before. You made us put on masks, and I just watched an interview with that Dr. Fauci idiot. Oh, we need masks. But testing has said that the masks are no good. It did nothing. Well, the masks are good for individuals. I said, make up your mind. He says, oh, at home it's good. This guy is an idiot. He didn't know what he was doing. We had some fool in charge. And our President Trump at the time did not get rid of everybody he promised. I'm hoping when he gets elected this time, he does a clean sweep. He does clean the swamp. So your generation, you, Corey, you, Merrick, you, X, you, Boo, I'm holding you guys responsible. We're going to give you over the keys in a couple of years. It's yours. Remember, there is no woke. You don't have to be, you can create your green energy, your wind energy. Oil has not hurt us. There's no way your electricity grids can handle everything that you want to do. Look at your environment. It has not gone more than 0.00004% more. The ozone layer is not destroyed. They told us there's going to be a nuclear war. Ozone layer. We're dead from it. We're not dead. It's 40 years later. Nothing has changed. All that has changed is our houses are better. Our quality of life is better. And yeah, we're screwing a lot of people better. But you know what? Look at China. The worst, the poorest country in the world has come back with the greatest economy. Russia was free for a while, and they are there, and they are taking care better of their people. Hungary, Europe, we've come away from squalor, from sitting in toilets in the field. Even there are toilet bowls in Ohio. I'm joking, guys, but you know what I'm talking about. Go back to the 20s and 30s when there was nothing. New York City. We had horses crapping on the street, people dying at 55. We're living 85, 90. Health people, we're watching our food. We want you to take what we taught you because we're stuck. That's it. We're here. You guys are so smart. But forget about woke. Forget about the left. Forget about the right. Just care about the people. That's all you have to do. Care about the people. When you become a politician, you don't have to vote with the whole group of Democrats. That's why I hate the Senate. 50 senators this way, 50 senators that way. These people are not voting with their brains. They're voting in groups. It's not right. I did not elect my guy to vote in a group. I elected him to vote for me, for my opinions. But again, this is the game we play, and we're stuck with these idiots, and there is no better system. I'm hoping you guys come up with a better system. I'm hoping when I get old that you guys actually take care of me and don't take everything away from me that I worked for, not for me, for you. I'm okay. But I know a lot of people are not going to make it. and they live terrible. You know, during COVID, I went to visit hospitals. You weren't allowed in, but I was allowed in as a volunteer. There were people sitting there in dirty diapers, in underwear, crying, being mistreated, understaffed. We didn't care. We didn't care. The young people should have come out in masses and volunteered. You don't have school, you don't have jobs. You should have all jumped into the hospitals, the nursing homes, the hospitals, the play groups, the special needs, the autistic children. Where were you? You were hiding because they tricked you to hide. They wanted you being stuck at home. They wanted to brainwash you on some stupid television and movies and your video games instead of going out to help your fellow man. Stop it. Think for yourself. Do the right thing. Change my nation. Become president. Hey, Xavier, I'll vote for you. Not you, Corey. You're out. There's no chance for you. You're dead.
All right.
Okay? I'm joking. You're from Cleveland, Ohio. At least he moved. At least he moved to
That's-
Florida, you know? Was there ever a president from Cleveland? Yeah. No, never. You have no chance, Corey. You're dead. Xavier Smart moved to Florida. Good boy.
Well, I'll be out soon, hopefully.
Come to town. You have a place to crash by me. It's going to be a mattress on the floor, but who cares? It's good. And
Hey,
no
I've
cotton
done
sheets for
worse.
you. I'll give you a nice regular sheet. You won't slide off. Me, you can find at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. That's my email. Justenoughheshy. That's right. You get just enough of me, okay? JUSTENOUGHHESHY that's my no at gmail.com. That's my email. Or you can go to heshytischler.com to my website, and you could email me from there or talk to me or whatever you want. And of course, donate if you feel confident to do so. But again, you can always reach out to me, and I'm always, and you know, Xavier, I always answer back. It might take a little longer, but I answer back.
Heshy, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for it, and great luck for the general election. If you have anything you want us to share, you know we know where to find you. We know where to reach you, and we really appreciate your time today, Heshy. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. It's Just Enough Heshy. We got Corey and this X here at WhatsApp. Thank you for your
Big
time.
X, Big X.
Big X.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
Heshy.
Be good.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.